Did you know being a YouTuber can be bad for your health? What I'm talking about here is keeping your ego in check. And that's what I want to talk about today. The Bible's pretty clear on it. According to the Ten Commandments, you should have no other God but God himself, and you shouldn't worship other gods. Now, I think what we've kind of experienced over my lifetime, I'm coming up to 58, is we've got like selfie culture where, society, the devil, I guess, has encouraged people to view themselves as being their own little god, their own mini celebrity. And I think that that's very, very dangerous. And obviously it's linked to pride as well, excessive levels of pride, which of course is a sin. So talking about ego more generally, I used to play quite a bit of sport, cricket and football, and I've met quite a few people who have gone on to play professionally. And it's been quite interesting observing some of those people. I have to say the vast majority that I knew handled it all very, very well, and they kept their egos under control. And in fact, in many cases, what these people wanted was for you to treat them entirely normally. They didn't want any change because they were now famous. There was an odd one who had a bit of success and turned pro, and the people that did allow their egos to get out of control, what I noticed was that they never properly made it. Because they didn't stay humble, they didn't work quite as hard as they should have done to realise their natural talent. And many of them sort of slid back into obscurity in the world of sport. This is a funny story, a true story. I used to know two guys that played for Crystal Palace, and these guys, we were in our mid-20s, so we used to go out and about. And when they were in nightclubs, girls would ask them what they did for a living, and they would say, one of them would say, "I'm a nurse," and the other one would say, "I'm a teacher. I trained as a teacher." And basically that was true. That's what they did before they became pro footballers. And I always used to think to myself, that's pretty cool. They just want to be interact with people, taking this kind of fame thing, ego thing out of the window. So I guess what I'm saying here is staying modest and humble, keeping your ego under control. It's actually very attractive, and the opposite, but being a legend in your own lunchtime because you got a few subscribers on YouTube, it's not really the way to go, in my opinion. And the way I see it is that I'm just another bloke, and my goal on here is to spread the gospel and to pass on a bit of knowledge of economics. For me, it's not about Nigel Watson. I might occasionally, tell you something about Finland, So incidentally, we've had the biggest spell of cloudy weather since I've been here. We've had about 2 or 3 weeks now of cloud. And so I think the other thing that I would say too is that, in my life and what I've observed is that if you let your ego get out of control, you stop listening to other people because you don't feel the need to listen because you've got a big ego. You think you've got everything right and you've got nothing to gain from listening. And I think that that's a huge mistake. I think it's so important for two-way communication to take place. And I think as a YouTuber, there's a real danger of your communication only being one way, i.e. you communicating to your audience. And one way around that, of course, is for you to comment on my videos, give me feedback, and I really appreciate that. So, for example, this morning somebody wrote to me on my YouTube channel and basically said they didn't appreciate me swearing. And after thinking about that, it didn't take me long to realise it, but I thought, yeah, they're absolutely right. What my swearing does is it takes away from my message. It certainly discourages people from listening to what I've got to say about the Bible and spreading the gospel. So, you know, if I was just interested in the sound of my own voice and not listening to others, then I wouldn't know that. And I guess the same sort of thing has happened. I know a few people who, you know, well-qualified people, and they got conned because they refused to listen to other points of view about Divock. And as a result of that, they got misled. So I think, you know, ego can stop people from learning because it can stop them from listening. Another thing that I'd like to say is, you know, I just want to encourage you, if you've to set up your own YouTube channel and to find your voice, because, you know, as I said earlier, we are in a battle between good and evil, and I think God expects us to speak up. And the more of us that articulate the gospel and reject Satan and his kind of Babylon of materialism, and yes, indeed, ego, that's a sin. I think Thessalonians chapter 5:22 says, reject every kind of evil. And I think, you know, allowing your ego to get out of control is sinful. So what I would love is for more and more people to start YouTubing or putting their stuff on other platforms and spread the truth. In particular, spread the good news of Jesus Christ and the Christian message, the true Christian message, rather than what Justin Welby says, you know, all that kind of woke stuff, which isn't really Christianity, or it's not Christianity anyway. So actually, the other thing that I'm reminded of is Tyson Fury, the famous world champion boxer from Morecambe, and one of the things that he always says that impresses me massively is that when he wins, he basically he says he gives the glory of his victory to God. So he basically, Tyson Fury says, I give him, that's God, the glory. He gives me the victory. And I think that that's a very good example for us all, really, especially people doing YouTube. Keep it real. It's all about the message. It's all about Jesus Christ. It's not about us. Keep your ego under control. You know, like personally, I don't want to be a celebrity. For me, it's about communication. I don't want to be anybody's false idol. So that's all I want to say about ego and the dangers of being a YouTuber. And if I ever get ahead of myself, make sure you tell me in the comments. You know, I won't be telling you about what type of music I like or what type of music. I have no intention of becoming a mini celebrity in my own lunchtime. You know, the most that you might ever get from me is something about Finland, and because I do find it an amazing place, and you know, the countryside is amazing. And interesting at the moment, in that it's normally very sunny here, but for the last 3 weeks we've just had cloud, and the winter's just about arrived. So this river here, it's just about starting to freeze, and it leads out all the way to the sea there, and you can see a bit of snow on the ground. So with that, have a great day, and God bless you. And just, as I say, just watch out for that ego, because I think that's what Satan's in charge of the earth, and what he tries to do is he's allowed to test us and drag us away from the truth. And I think, you know, ego is a big weapon that Satan uses. Ego, status, all of that stuff, we got to keep that under control, definitely. And as I say, like this channel, it's all about me spreading information about the gospel, and then secondly, some stuff about economics. So yeah, one more time, God bless you.